Well, here we are again, Brian with J-Line, and we're driving conversations, meaning I'm letting the Tesla drive, and I have a conversation with you. I just give you a heads up right now. I am not having a good day. You know, some days you kind of, I don't know, they say wake up on the wrong side of the bed or bad hair day, whatever it may be. I'm just not having a good day, but we're going to talk about something that must be discussed when it comes to trying to build your life around a travel lifestyle or live for as least money as possible. And in this series of driving conversations, we've been talking about figuring out where you're going to make your income. So watch that video if you haven't. Can you work from anywhere, or do you have enough money coming in passively or are you a remote worker, or did you save up a bunch of money and now you're able to spend it and live off of it? Whatever it may be, figure out the income thing, okay? The other thing we talked about is how you're going to travel, like what kind of place you're going to travel, like cruising, hotels, Airbnbs, you know, in the car or an RV, camping, you know, traveling, however you're going to plan on doing that. And today we have to talk about probably one of them, and maybe it's good that I'm in a bad mood doing this video, because I have to talk about something that needs to be talked about and needs to be decided, because it can make or break, I think, make or break your financial budget, but also maybe your peace of mind or your happiness. So let's talk about it. Let's jump into it. And I'm just gonna say it right now. I'm not a pet person or a dog person or a cat person or pets, okay? Let me tell you, it doesn't mean that I don't have pets, but what I'm saying, well, they're not mine. They're part of the household. Let me give you a little background story. We bought a house. Well, actually, we were renting a house before we bought a house. This was years ago, over 10 years ago. And, you know, the kids growing up really wanted an animal, really wanted a dog. And so we went down and we rescued a dog. And it was awesome. The way we did it was we actually rescued the dog, and then it was before, I think, Christmas, around Christmas time, but it was before Christmas. So we got this dog and we told the kids that we're watching this dog for a friend of ours. And so we said, and we'll see how you guys do with this dog. Oh, they love the dog. The dog was great. It was amazing. You know, it costs money. And then it came time for Christmas. And we said, hey, we did get you guys a Christmas gift. And they're like, oh, wow, really awesome. Turns out that we're not watching this dog for a friend. This is your dog. And I'm like, oh my God, it was amazing. Everybody was happy. And 10 years later, we said goodbye to the dog. Okay, let's just say that. The dog is no longer with us. Rest in peace. Okay. Growing up, when I was a kid, I remember my first dog named King. King was an old dog, and I just remember that we had this dog. So perhaps maybe this dog was my parents' dog before I was born or whatever. All I know is King, the little dog King. We found King dead under a car that was our car parked. I don't know. I wasn't driving at the time. I was a kid. But let's say King died of old age. Then we got Daisy. As my brother and I, as kids, we got Daisy. And Daisy was a lab shepherd mix of some type, rescue as well. And Daisy was awesome, you know. And then Daisy had some puppies, and then we gave away some puppies. And then we had Bobo, was one of the puppies that we kept. Pretty soon Daisy died of old age. Bobo died of old age. And then for some reason now I'm out on my own, and I've always wanted to get a Alaskan Husky kind of dog. So something happened where I was able to get this dog. I got the dog, and I lived on my own, and the dog kept getting out and running, and then I have to catch it and say don't run and all this kind of stuff. And then one day couldn't find the dog, and the dog Sheba was the dog's name. I did find Sheba on the side of the road after getting hit by a car. So maybe it's me, maybe it's just, why am I not a pet person? All my pets have died. But this is the thing. Regardless, okay, yeah, that's the emotional attachment. But let's talk about, we have to really talk about the pets and how much they cost. And if they're a part of your lifestyle and travel plan, you have to really figure this out. This is a huge commitment. We have right now, just in the last year, we've spent over $10,000 on dogs. And if you know, and it's everything. It's everything. If you want to travel with your dog, now, you know, you have a dog, you want to travel. Well, let's just talk about cruising, for example. Every port you go to, even obviously it's service dog, you know, every port you go to, the dog costs at least $100 to be inspected at every port, regardless of whether you get off the ship or not. Okay, so that's a huge cost, an extra $100 per port. So if you go on a cruise and you're stopping at 3 ports, that's $300 extra, at least $300. I've heard that it's $150, sometimes $200, or whatever the other countries say that day that you're gonna have to pay. You know, like, and it could only be cash, if you know what I'm saying. So anyway, it's a racket. Okay, that's just, I mean, have you been to a hotel and had to pay the pet fee? Have you rented an apartment or a condo or Airbnb and have to pay a pet fee? I mean, there's always a pet fee. And this is the thing. You think you could go on your trip with your pet? Okay, maybe you can't. Well, who's gonna watch your pet? Are you gonna put them in a boarding for $300 a week or whatever it might be? There's a lot of cost that goes into it. And so it's fine. I know, like, okay, let me just say it like this. And like I said, I've been having a bad day. I'm gonna just say it as it is. You know, these emotional support animals, it goes both ways. I mean, really think about it. And believe me, I've raised money for animals and service dogs and stuff, like thousands of dollars. So don't get me wrong. I mean, I love animals. I love what animals can do to help people. And maybe some people need emotional support animal. However, I'm being real, I'm being blunt, I'm being honest, I'm being straightforward when I say that in my experience, not all the time, I don't even want to put a percentage by it, but it seems like the animal is the one that it needs emotional support from the human. So the animal is the one that needs attention and needs to get walked and needs to get better and needs to and need. Okay. All right. So sorry. Maybe you're a pet person. Maybe you're not a pet person. I'm just saying it's a real conversation that needs to happen. If you're gonna have a travel lifestyle, are you gonna have a pet or not? Because that really limits not only the actual traveling that you can do, the places you can go, but your financial budget. It costs a lot to own a pet. It costs a lot. And if you're gonna travel, who's gonna take care of your pet? Are you taking your pet with you? You have to figure out the pet issue. It is the pet issue. That's what you have to figure out if you're wanting to figure out this whole lifestyle of traveling, minimalistic, all of this kind of stuff. You're gonna have to figure out the pet issue. Until next time, don't just watch J-Line, but be a J-Line. See ya.